Hello, I hope this finds you well. I'm going to be reading to you tonight a little bedtime story that I wrote. So grab your favorite cozy blanket, your nice fluffy pillows, curl up, and get ready to just relax. In the quiet town of Willow Creek, where the only sounds were the rustling leaves and distant chirps of birds, there lived a young girl named Lila. Her eyes were the color of the freshly plucked berries from the nearby forest, and her hair fell in soft waves that reminded everyone of the gentle stream that meandered through the heart of the village. Lila had a peculiar habit of speaking to the trees, believing they held secrets that only she could hear. Most folks just nodded and smiled, thinking it a harmless whimsy of a girl with too much imagination. One warm summer evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Lila decided to take her usual stroll. The air had the scent of blooming lilies and freshly cut grass. The street lamps flickered to life, casting a soft glow on the cobblestone pathways. The warmth of the day clung to the buildings, making the stones feel almost alive under her bare feet. As she wandered, she noticed a peculiar tree she had never seen before. It was tall and proud, with a trunk that twisted like a corkscrew and leaves that shimmered like emeralds in the moonlight. Hearing what she thought were soft whispers coming from the direction of the tree, she decided to tread softly. The whispers grew louder as she approached. The tree's branches seemed to lean in closer, eager to share their secrets. Lila felt a strange energy emanating from it, something she'd never felt before, even in her favorite willow tree. She reached out, her fingertips brushing against the cool bark, and the whispers grew clearer. It was the tree speaking to her, sharing tales of ancient battles, lost loves, and forgotten magic that had once danced through the very ground she walked on. Her heart raced with excitement. She'd always known the trees had stories, but she'd never actually understood them before. Now she could feel the vibrations of the words resonating through her body, sending shivers down her spine. The tree spoke of a hidden glade deep within the forest, where the most ancient of its kin grew. There, it said, she would find a place of tranquility and knowledge, a place where she could truly understand the whispers of nature. Lila knew she had to find this mystical place. With the tree's guidance, she ventured into the heart of the woods, her curiosity leading the way. The path grew narrower, the canopy denser, and the whispers grew softer, as if the other trees were shielding her from the secrets they bore. Twigs snapped beneath her feet, and the occasional hoot of an owl pierced the serene silence. The scent of the earth and the dew-laden foliage grew stronger, grounding her in the world around her. The moon provided just enough light to illuminate the way ahead, casting an eerie shadow that danced with the sway of the leaves. Despite the encroaching darkness, she felt a profound sense of peace, as if the forest itself was welcoming her into its embrace. The shimmering leaves of the unique tree acted as a beacon, guiding her deeper into the woods. Each step she took was a silent promise to uncover the hidden beauty of the natural world. As she journeyed on, the whispers grew stronger, merging into a harmonious symphony of ancient knowledge. The air grew cooler and damper, hinting at the presence of a nearby stream. The sound of trickling water grew louder, a soothing melody accompanying the whispers of the trees. Lila's heart swelled with excitement as she stumbled upon the glade, a clearing bathed in a beautiful ethereal glow that seemed to emanate from the ancient trees standing guard around its perimeter. The center of the glade was dominated by an enormous oak tree, its branches stretching out like the arms of a wise old sage, inviting her closer. The whispers grew to a crescendo as she approached, and she felt a sudden jolt, as if the very essence of the forest had recognized her. The tree's bark was gnarled and covered in moss, and its leaves whispered secrets that only the moon's soft light could illuminate. Lila's breath caught in her throat as she reached out to touch the ancient oak. The whispers grew clearer still, telling of a time when humans and nature coexisted in perfect harmony, before the world grew noisy and the whispers of the trees were drowned out by the clamor of progress. The tree spoke of a lost artifact, a stone that could restore this balance, hidden somewhere in the depths of the forest. Her hand rested on the mossy bark, and she closed her eyes, letting the whispers fill her mind. Images flashed through her thoughts: a gleaming stone nestled in the roots of a fallen giant, a secret chamber hidden behind a waterfall, and the gentle touch of a deer's nose as it guided her through the underbrush. The whispers grew so intense she could almost hear the rustle of leaves from the first tree that had ever spoken to her. Her eyes snapped open, and she took a step back, feeling the weight of the tree's story in her chest. It was a quest she had been chosen to undertake, a quest to find the artifact and bring peace back to the land. The glade grew quiet, as if the trees were holding their breath in anticipation of her answer. Lila nodded solemnly, accepting the responsibility. The whispers grew softer, their confidence in her unspoken but palpable. The ancient oak's boughs swayed gently as if to bid her farewell and good luck. With a newfound resolve, she turned and set off into the night, the glow of the glade dimming behind her as she ventured further into the darkness. The forest grew denser, the trees whispering of hidden paths and ancient lore. The underbrush grew thicker, and the occasional rustle of a nocturnal creature reminded her that she was not alone. Yet she pressed on, the whispers acting as a compass through the labyrinth of foliage. The scent of the earth grew richer, mingling with the faint aroma of damp mushrooms and moss. As the night deepened, the whispers grew fainter, leaving her to rely on her instincts. The moon cast a silver ribbon of light through the canopy, guiding her through the shadows. Lila's skin prickled with excitement and a touch of fear, but she knew she was on the right path. The forest spoke to her in the language of the earth, the whispers of the leaves and the sighs of the breeze pointing her towards the stone's resting place. The sound of rushing water grew louder, and soon she found herself standing before a waterfall, its veil of liquid silver cascading down a mossy cliff. The mist kissed her face, cool and refreshing, as she searched for the secret chamber the whispers had revealed. Behind the curtain of water, she spotted a narrow opening, barely visible to the naked eye. She took a deep breath and stepped through, the cool spray enveloping her as she ventured into the hidden space. The chamber was small and dimly lit by the glow of bioluminescent fungi that adorned the walls. At the far end, she saw the stone nestled into the roots of a fallen tree. It pulsed with an energy that seemed to resonate with her very being. As she approached, the whispers grew into a chant, urging her to claim the artifact. Her hand trembled as she reached out, the anticipation building within her like a crescendo. When her fingers finally brushed against the cool, smooth surface, The stone emitted a gentle hum, and the whispers grew silent. Lila felt a surge of power course through her, as if she'd been plugged into the very lifeblood of the forest. The air grew still, and the only sound was the rhythmic throb of the stone's energy resonating with her own heartbeat. Her eyes fell upon ancient runes etched into the stone's surface, each one telling a story of unity and balance. As she gazed at the intricate patterns, she understood the true weight of her discovery. This was no ordinary artifact. It was a piece of the very soul of the forest, a relic that could heal the rift between the world of man and the whispers of nature. With reverence, she lifted the stone from its resting place. It was surprisingly light, as if it had been waiting for her touch. The moment she held it in her palms, the chamber's walls began to tremble, and the bioluminescent fungi pulsed in time with her heart. The whispers returned, louder than ever, a cacophony of approval and guidance. The stone whispered to her, sharing the incantation she needed to recite to activate its power. Lila felt the words form in her mouth, ancient syllables that seemed to resonate with the very core of her being. The forest grew brighter, the glow of the fungi intensifying, casting an emerald light across the chamber. She could feel the eyes of trees upon her, watching, supporting her in this pivotal moment. With a deep breath, she spoke the incantation. The air grew thick with energy, and the stone pulsed in her hands, sending waves of warmth and vitality through her veins. The walls of the chamber rumbled, and the floor shifted beneath her feet as if the very earth was awakening from a long slumber. As the final syllable left her lips, the stone emitted a brilliant flash, and the whispers grew into a deafening roar. The world around her swirled in a kaleidoscope of green, and she felt herself lifted off the ground. The sensation was exhilarating and terrifying, as if she were one with the forest itself. The stone's light grew brighter, and she could see the threads of magic that bound the plants and animals together, a web of life that stretched out in every direction. The trees bent their branches, creating a path for her to follow. The whispers grew more insistent, urging her to return to the glade. The forest came alive around her, the animals emerging from the shadows to join her in her journey. Deer and rabbits bounded alongside her, their eyes gleaming with the same green light that emanated from the stone. Birds took flight above, their wings beating in time with her heart. The trek back to the glade felt both timeless and fleeting. The whispers grew softer as she approached, and the light from the stone dimmed. The animals that had accompanied her retreated into the woods, leaving her standing before the ancient oak once more. The glade was as tranquil as she had left it, the only indication of her quest being the gentle glow of the bioluminescent fungi that clung to her clothes and skin. Lila approached the ancient tree, feeling a newfound kinship with the world around her. The whispers grew to a gentle lullaby, guiding her to a spot before the oak where a circle of mushrooms had formed. She knew this was where she was meant to place the stone. With trembling hands, she lowered it into the soft earth, and the moment it touched the ground, the whispers grew to a crescendo. The glade was bathed in a soft emerald light as the stone began to sink, the earth welcoming it back like a lost child. The mushrooms grew taller, their caps unfurling to reveal intricate patterns that matched the runes on the stone. The ancient oak's branches reached down, embracing her in a warm, comforting hug. The whispers grew louder, telling her that she had done well, that the balance was beginning to be restored.